Hello, my name is Nurhadi Wibowo and I'm from Indonesia. This time I want to presenting my paper with the title Competitiveness in Global Transformation, a Systematic Review. Let me start with the agenda in the presentation. The agenda are research background, research objective, problem statement, literature review, discussion, future research, and the conclusion. Now we are in the research background section. It all starts from the industrialization, that is production use mechanical, electrical, and chemical expertise with certain resources. Industrialization also changing the world point of view, increasing population, changing culture to become important for human welfare. After the industrialization era, what is faced the globalization era? That affect a line of life such as economics, social, and politics throughout the world. Because of that, the manufacturing industry face the market uncertainty, product diversity, and rapidly changing customer needs when market conditions become very competitive. To survive in the globalization, the most competitive economy by increasing national competitiveness to build global competitiveness and be able to survive in the era of globalization. The way to make competitive economy is strengthen the national competitiveness. As stated by Fahy 2002, national competitiveness is one of the important points for a country's government and industry. Performance of the domestic industry influence the level of competitiveness. Industry players can be properly directed in determining a decision to achieve competitive national goals. That's why competitiveness remains an interesting thing despite much research discussion. Something new can be obtained in the research if we look from the different point of view. Next, we go to the research objective of this paper. The research objective of this paper are: this paper contributes to give a new idea in competitiveness research. The purpose of this paper is to identify gaps from previous studies for contributing new research ideas. This paper adopts a systematic literature review method to find out the state of the art based on general characteristic, conceptual and measurement, solution methodology, and strategic level. The problem statement that we summarize are: what kind of concept for future research that this research serve? And the second is, what are the new research idea from this competitiveness systematic review? Next, we go to the literature review section. The Scopus database was considered for the study. More than 10,000 related article results that used the keyword competitiveness during the period 1999 until 2019. Article subject area limits to economic, business, and management, and result of 6,000 appearance. The title of the article contains words with the subject of international competitiveness, national competitiveness, and industry competitiveness, and result 86 article paper. The title and abstract of the paper are read and analyzed in depth, a special paper with case studies. Like a snowball method, also used to link the paper with the developed competitiveness theory and model, which eventually result in 18 papers. The next step is to analyze the content of the article by reviewing the context, objective, method, result, and conclusion. Now we divide this section in international level competitiveness and national level competitiveness. The first of this section is international level competitiveness. According to Capo Bianco and Uriarte, international competitiveness was first introduced in the HMS Treasury Report in 1983, which was defined as international competitiveness means the ability of the producer to compete successfully in competing for world markets and with imports in its own domestic market. In line with changing time, the definition of international competitiveness develops from the initial definition, where several factors are added, including public function in 1985, government role in 1994, sustainability in 2016, and the concept issues by the word competitiveness in 2019. The national level competitiveness, we found that the framework that most used for competitiveness topic are Porter-Diamond framework, 9-factor model by Cho, and cube model by Garelli. Each of them have advantages and disadvantages. This depends on the case that will be researched. Porter start the concept of competitive advantages of the nation by conducting studies in 10 countries. The study was conducted in more than 100 industries and found success, which in turn made Porter study the competitiveness of micro industry into the macro competitiveness of the nation. The concept of competitiveness advantage for nation Porter is better known as the Diamond framework. The figure you can see in the slide with the arrow. Diamond framework has limitation in its application to developing countries such as Korea, as stated by Cho. Cho initiated a 9-factor model that emphasizes 2 categories to explain the concept of national competitiveness, namely physical category and the human category. Physical category include natural resource factor, business environment, related supporting industry, and demand condition, where the combination will determine its competitiveness at the international level. The difference between the 9-factor model and Porter-Diamond model are in the division of factor, and in addition to new factor, the Diamond model includes both natural resources and labor in factor condition. But the 9-factor model places natural resources under endowed resources, while labor is included within the category of workers. The cube theory defines 4 competitiveness forces. There are aggressiveness versus attractiveness, asset versus processes, globality versus proximity, and social responsibility versus risk-taking. Garelli argues that competitiveness is how a nation manages the totality of its resources and competencies to increase the prosperity of its people. The cube model can be seen in figure with the arrow in the slide. Since 1989, National Competitiveness Report already exists. The International Institute for Management Development (IMD) and the World Economic Forum (WEF) in 1995. The original version can be seen in the figure with the arrow, and the revision model in 2000 can be seen in the slide with the arrow. Next, we can look the transformation of competitiveness that we resume in flow chart from Smith 1937 to Chikan 2008. Next, we want to discuss in the another review that using competitiveness topic with the distinct method. We have resumed that in the table as can you see in this side. We describe the previous study of competitiveness into two categories. There are subsystem methodology and hard system methodology. The subsystem methodology mostly using competitiveness framework in their research. A few of them using system approach methodology like SWOT or HSP. The other one is hard system methodology, that a few of them are using system dynamic model and heuristic approach. The gap identified for this both methodology that the research with the combining of subsystem methodology and hard system methodology like integrated HSP to system dynamic model. This gap is identified as new research for the competitiveness. Next, the future research in this paper are: the object in most study has only one object that is not comparing to other object. There is only an international level case that makes competitiveness comparison between countries. Otherwise, there are none of the international industry comparison between countries. Also, competitiveness comparison between companies in one country. Now we are reached the conclusion of this paper. The conclusion are: for new research ID number 1, research using heuristic methods that can be used to describe factors that are related and influence each other has not been done substantially. With heuristic methods that discuss innovation, technology, global value chain, or other interrelated things. And the new research idea number 2 is to use a simulation method where this method can emulate the actual system and can improvise without disrupting the existing system. And the new research idea number 3 is combining the heuristic with the simulation method, where the heuristic method determines the model factor so that it can be identified properly. This is the reference that used in this paper. Thank you for your attention. I hope this paper is worthwhile for the other researchers. My name is Nurhadi Wibowo, and the other authors, Mr. Rahmat, Nurcahyo, apologize for the lack of this paper and presentation. With the honest, thank you.